Kevin is our chief product officer at Molecule. He guides the product team and the tech team with an iron fist, but with great grace, and always brings a great vibe into the office, and I think has been really doing a lot of thinking about where Molecule's protocol is going, and the next talk that we're going to have is he's going to be sharing that vision with you. We have some pretty exciting developments underway, sort of getting closer to the researchers and the data, but yeah, I'll leave it to Kevin to explain. Here he is.
Hi guys, what an amazing intro, so thank you very much, Ella. I actually wanted to start off with that joke, so she stole that. No, all good. Cool, slides are on, so welcome everyone. Good to have you in our home, in our DeSci church actually. So maybe to the people that didn't know this yet. Oh, I need to go closer. Okay. I'll just stand like this. This used to be a church, a brutalist church. I think Paul mentioned this actually. So welcome to the DeSci church. Good to see all of you here. Yeah, last year I was a spectator here. That was my first DeSci Berlin. This year I get the honor to speak today. So let me guide you through the, from my perspective, most exciting presentation this whole conference. So I hope you all pay attention. I'm going to introduce to you live today our new product, which is going to be Molecule Labs, so stay tuned. Cool. Maybe before I start, who has some crypto experience, has some tokens, did this, maybe raise your hands. Who's never touched crypto before? Nice, I like the hand up. Courage. Cool. Well, let me show you. So usually what happens in crypto, and you maybe seen the slide, or the title of the slide, which is like when science, this is the sentiment in crypto. It's like when token, when the airdrop, and when my 10x. That's literally usually how the crypto space works. People are quite short term. They want to see results immediately, and this is something where, of course, working in DeSci and trying to make the connection between tokens and science, it takes a long time, a bit challenging. Before I dive in, and of course, as a VC-backed multi-million-dollar crypto startup, we delivered on the when token, right? So maybe just quickly a recap on our primitives. We have the proof of invention. We, by the way, have an amazing workshop led by Noor at 2, I think, which is going to be upstairs. Yes, Noor, you go. That is going to allow you to work with this. Literally time-stamping service for your ideas on chain, so you can prove provenance and ownership about what you have cooking, whether it's a recipe, a picture, full-blown white paper, you decide. But basically, Noor's going to do that, and Noor's going to be generous. So if you don't have any crypto, you in the front, you can go there and get some crypto. Cool. That's the first one, very top of the funnel. Then, of course, we have our beautiful IP NFT and our minter, which Paul has already talked about. It's more or less a representation of IP on chain. So it's a unique piece, a unique token. Most of you know them from NFTs, right? The expensive JPEGs, the expensive apes that people sold 3 years ago that are now all down bad. But we use this technology to basically bridge IP on chain. And I cannot say IP on chain anymore. But yeah, so immutable proof, secure transferring and licensing, right? And then also just the digital future, how we bridge IP on chain. Then next up, we have the IP tokens. So this is more or less another fractionalization. So think about you have one big thing, and then you can separate this into a lot smaller things, and you can start distributing these things, right? You can sell them. You can incentivize people and say, like, here, have a share of these tokens. If it goes up, amazing. If it goes down, you're bad. But it also allows you to do a lot of other cool things that are actually quite relevant to the Molecule Labs product that I'm going to present in a second. So this being said, we have all of the primitives, and we went one step further beginning of the year and launched a DeSci screener. So if you go to molecule.xyz, and I know we're developing the plane while flying it, so it could be that the page is broken right now because we're pushing the new product, but it allows you to basically get a curated list of top projects within the space. So you have a user profile, you'll be able to understand what kind of categories are there. So are you interested in longevity, climate, Whatever you want, you will find these tokens there. This was very much done initially to cater the dark side of the crypto, dark modes, to the degens, so people actually trading those assets. So it's very much about prices and basically getting insights into the tokenomics. So yeah, why am I talking all about this? It's actually the next one, right? So it's when tokenization is easy, but the hard part and the most crucial part for Molecule is actually being able to showcase the value that's backing these projects, which is the science, right? And this is something that we come along as well during our journey, was to notice that the audience or the investors or just people generally looking at DeSci were criticizing this. They were saying, okay, cool, yeah, like you have all of these amazing tokens, you raised 5 million for 7 research projects within 48 hours, but what the hell is happening behind this? Like I have this token now, but what? So I'm super excited and super stoked to introduce you. Oh, not yet. I have 3 more slides. Sorry. We very much believe in the blockchain primitives, which is don't trust, verify, and we're applying this to science, right? And basically, Web3 is really primed to distribute different sectors by creating trustless systems, meaning that you really leverage this decentralized nature of blockchain, and we're applying that to science. So the big question is, how does that look for science? How does that look for Molecule? How does it look for DeSci? And the answer, the one and only, not the one and only solution, one of the solutions is actually Molecule Labs. Cool. This being said, I'm going to introduce you a bit briefly what the product does. So to give you some context before I dive in, we really started this from 0 to 1 a couple of weeks ago. My team was going insane with crunching in. We were there yesterday, I think almost until 2 a.m., not bragging about this, just saying like we really squeezed in to get this done today. So just want to, at this stage, give a big shout out to the whole product and tech team at Molecule. You guys rock, and without you, I couldn't stand here today. So this being said, let's dive in. What is Molecule Labs? Basically, I think the easy way to describe it, it's the home for tokenized science. We want to make scientific progress transparent on-chain, so it doesn't sit in a G drive or some centralized database, but actually we want to make it transparent, so you guys can check what the hell is happening with these projects. Am I allowed to cuss? I hope. Investable and also liquid. So basically what you can expect, and this is how the product looks for the project leads, you will be able to more or less manage your whole project. So verified regular updates on scientific progress, delivering on the milestones that projects also promised while raising funds, immutable on-chain records, so every data drop that's been added, and we have an amazing provider that gives a talk later, Camu, that will go into detail how this works, is being ledgerized on-chain. So information can't be lost. It can't be just altered by one single person, right? It's a public decentralized data storage solution. And also it is there for eternity. So Camu leverages different solutions on how to ensure that data is not being lost somewhere. But yeah, I will leave this to the talk later from Camu. And then last but not least, and this is where the IP token comes in, you're also able to give access permissions based on who you want to share information with. That is the public, so literally everyone can see this. That is token-gated information, so token holders have an incentive to hold the token and then also get a bit of alpha into the data that the project is generating. And then, of course, you have super confidential information that is the core team, basically thinking about like, okay, only, for example, the researchers have access to this. And when the time comes, you can still decide to change those access permissions. So what we want to do is we want to highlight the progress, we want to highlight the value that comes out of it, and then ultimately showcase the impact that comes with this. Cool. What does it mean for the project leads? So looking at Vida DAO, looking at Cerebrum DAO, Valley DAO, I know a lot of you guys are in here. You basically can think about this as a GitHub for DeSci, for science. So this is how the project is going to look like. It basically starts off with initial data room only, so because everything starts from scratch with the data, we need to get the data first. You can upload, organize your data. We support all kinds of file types. We basically allow you to get decentralized storage from the get-go, including versioning, so we'll have an on-chain record on how the files change over time. And then also making sure, because what is all of this data valuable when it just sits somewhere in isolation and no one can see it, you have an automated Telegram bot integration that allows you to create announcements on the get-go, creating shareable links for your socials, whether that's LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it. We don't We don't choose. You can use this to just inform your community whenever there's progress, keep them updated. And the idea is not just to use this as a retrospective reporting tool, but also looking into the future, right? Thinking about like, okay, we did X, Y, Z, we raised $500,000. Now we're going to do Y, Z, and Z, and for this we're going to need follow-on fundraising in 6 months, and we're going to keep on delivering, so that also helps with credibility for the respective project. So the idea is really highlight these good projects, make sure that the DAOs and the projects are accountable, and then also make it super, super easy for users to understand how they can validate the science. For the user side of things, so token holders, public, degens, PhD gens, as Benji would say, what we are doing is we're connecting the science with the markets. So we're basically bridging that gap that is currently happening, right? Like the space is still small. We have a bio ecosystem, but it is already really tough for a lot of people to follow along and understand what these projects are actually doing. And there's also a lot of critique, and for the right reasons, right? This product is here to solve this. So we are bridging that gap between the science and the markets. So you as a user, you have super easy access. You can follow the Telegram, get automatically pinged. Every file announcement is gonna be directly highlighted on the DeSci screener, so that's the black screen right there, that allows you to view the files and validate what is actually going on. It's one interface for project teams and the public together to come along. We started off with the demand side, now we're adding the supply side and bridging both of these together. So you kind of think of the yin and yang. The white one for the clean science, the black one for the degens, the speculators, to try to cater to these users as well. You can visit this right now on molecule.xyz. I hope the site is up again. And basically get instant clarity on what projects are building and shipping and which projects are not. Last one. All of this is super cool, but we're just getting started with this, right? We just started with the data, which is the most crucial part, but actually what comes next? The way we want to do it, so in this initial version, we just go with public information, right? Because we need to ensure that there's proper encryption in place and token gating mechanisms to really make sure that the data that the project leads are uploading is also protected. We are going to give a lot more advanced analytics to the project leads as well, and also, of course, to the public, where it really breaks down, for example, the tokenomics of the respective project. What are the top holders? Are there any whales? Are they making any moves? Cool, I'll manage. Yeah, anyways, advanced analytics, and then also, which is super crucial, because Paul highlighted this, right? Funding is a big part of all of this, is that this platform is going to be basically the cockpit for your respective DeSci project. Whether it's going to be tokenization, whether it's going to be IP tokens, whether it's going to be doing fundraising for your project, you can all manage this within this cockpit. So the call to action now, and I have 5 minutes, is go to molecule.xyz, check out the DeSci screener. I instructed the project leads to push these announcements. So we have VitaDAO, VitaRNA pushing, we have Cerebrum DAO that's going to push updates, and we also have ValleyDAO that's going to use the product live today. I know my lawyer is in the house, so no financial advice on any of the tokens. But yeah, I really encourage you to check it out, visit the page, see the data that's being added. Join the Telegram groups, of course, of these projects as well, stay in the loop. And then, of course, always grow the space. So if you want to launch your own tokenized IP, whether that's through a DAO or just your own project, and you want to manage this with Molecule Labs, that's something we're also going to work on in the V0.1. We just started off with the whitelist for the projects that are within our space. But yeah, next step is to open source this, so all of you have access. And yeah, don't trust, but verify the science. Thank you guys very much for this. Thank you. Cool.